St. Anne returns to the Elite Eight for the first time since Jack Sikma took them to Champaign in 1973. The Cardinals play a Winnebago team that led their Super Sectional for 4.3 seconds, upsetting number 2 Rock Falls.
March Madness invades Central Illinois as the Class A Elite Eight comes back to Peoria for the 9th year. Hello and welcome to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. I'm Lee Hall. We'll be alongside this afternoon. Our second quarterfinal, Peoria Christian just won game 1. They are already in. Our second quarterfinal, St. Anne tries to recapture past glory, and a Winnebago team comes to Peoria, a team that might have its best basketball ahead of them. For the call of today's game, let's go to Jim Albrecht and Matt Taphorn.
Thank you very much, Lee Hall. If you like your basketball tempo in 5th gear, I think we got the game for you. It is Winnebago and St. Anne. I'm Jim Albrecht along with Matt Taphorn. And Matt, let's get right to how these teams got here. Of course, Winnebago had to overcome their bugaboo, of course, their crosstown rival, Byron, and they beat them in OT and then went through Aurora Central Catholic, got down on Rockford Christian Life, and of course upset Rock Falls in that super sectional, and that was quite a game all the way down to the wire. Now, when you watch Winnebago, you're watching at least one young man that a lot of people will be talking about, but let's go to that St. Anne's road to Peoria. First of all, Cullum Tri-Point fell by 7. Braidwood Reed Custer 62-40 there. Moments fell, and then Downs Tri-Valley in the super sectional. And back to that man, a lot of college coaches are talking about Devin Bauwinkle. He is the man. He's only a sophomore, but a lot of people talk about him for Winnebago.
A sophomore is averaging 14 points a game, leading the way for their team, second in rebounding, first in assists as well. Just a super sophomore. A lot of teams, you said, very interested at the college level. This kid can do everything. A first-team All-Stater for Class A.
And of course, on the other side for St. Anne, they've got a statistic with this young man that just jumps out at you. 14 rebounds a game for Mr. Thurman. You kidding me?
Almost 400 rebounds on the season. Averages 10 points to go along with that. He is their force inside at 6'4". He's the size that they have to offset the size that Winnebago has.
Well, it's going to be run and gun. Let's take a look at the keys. First for the Indians from Winnebago. Matt, what do they got to do?
Well, certainly they want to play up and down the floor. They want to spread their offense, take advantage of some of their size that they have, and use their bench. They go 9 deep. They get about 15 points a game off of their bench.
And, of course, for the Cardinals from St. Anne, this is kind of like a basketball track meet. They like to get from one end to the other.
Yeah, they're not going to shy away from getting it full court in this game either. They want to contain Ballwinkle, of course, and they also want to maintain their focus. Be concentrated on what they need to do in this game.
How many points will they score? It really doesn't matter for both coaches. Of course, they just want to have more than the other team and get on to the semifinals. One team is in, Peoria Christian, with a really nice way to play basketball as far as keeping the ball spread. They were very impressive, and they are in the semifinals. Now, of course, it'll either be Winnebago or St. Anne. We are standing by at Carver Arena, of course, at the Peoria Civic Center. And now let's take a look at the young men who will be playing these games. Here is our public address announcer, Mr. Paul Herzog.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association of the City of Peoria, welcome to March Madness. For today's quarterfinal game, featuring the Winnebago Indians at 29-1 and the St. Anne Cardinals 25-4. Let's meet the teams in this quarterfinal contest. For Winnebago, 6-foot junior guard, number 10, Kevin Terville. 5'11" junior, number 11, Brennan Kroll. 5'10" sophomore, 13, Wesley Reinke. 5'10" senior, 15, Kurt Zoot. 5'10" junior, 23, Chase Jensen. 6'1" senior forward, 42, Ryan Kaufman. 6-foot junior forward, 43, Adam Meacham. 6'2" junior center, 51, Caleb Snyder. 6'3" junior forward, 53, Robbie Brooks. And a 6'3" senior center, 55, Brandon Johnson. Now the Cardinals of St. Anne. A 5'5" sophomore guard, 5, Jermaine Link. 6'1" senior forward, 10, Clay Butler. 5'7" senior guard, 11, Anthony Jones. 5'5" junior guard, 15, Charles Bender. 5'10" senior guard, 34, Lawrence Taylor. 6'4" senior center, 40, John Melton. A 5'10" senior forward, 42, Carlos Jardin. 6' junior forward, 50, James McCullum Jr. And a 6'2" freshman center, 52, Steve Garcia. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this quarterfinal contest. For Winnebago, the 6'5" sophomore forward, 21, Devon Bullwinkle. For St. Anne, a 6'4" junior forward, 33, Felix Thurman. The other forward for the Indians, 6'4" senior, 22, Ben Powers. One of 3 guards for the Cardinals, a 5'10" senior, number 1, Michael Bender. At center for Winnebago, 6'5" senior, 41, David Merchant. At a guard, a 5'6" senior, 3, Therese Bender. For Winnebago, a 5'11" senior guard, 12, Chad Nelson. The guard for St. Anne, a 6'1" junior, number 4, Jeff Weathersby. The other guard for the Indians, a 6' senior, 14, Bobby Tisdale. And a guard for the Cardinals, a 6' senior, 23, Jeremy Davis. Coaching in his 17th season, all at Winnebago, Joe Murphy, a record of 310 and 141. Assistant coaches, Tom Sipes, Ron Ferguson, and Mike Gerhardt. Coaching in his 6th season, all at St. Anne, a record of 102 and 52. Rick Schoon. Assistant coaches, Todd Seroy, Tom Montemeyer, Dan Denton, and Peter Perkins.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups. Mr. Bullwinkle, we talked about him, the sophomore. He sets the stage for Winnebago, but he's not the only part of the show. Ben Powers, David Merchant, Chad Nelson, and Bobby Tisdale. Then it's Mr. Bender Thurman. Another Bender in there, along with Weathersby and Davis. They are cousins, the Benders, and of course there's a 3rd Bender on the bench as well. If you're just joining us, welcome to another afternoon and into the evening. Showcase of Illinois Class A basketball. As the 2 teams take the floor, St. Anne 27-4, Winnebago 29-1. Of course, Winnebago's never been here, Matt. First trip ever to the state. Their only loss of the year was to Oregon, 64-52. And we're set to go with Bullwinkle jumping center. With Felix Thurman. Get your stopwatch out. We may need it.
They got their track shoes on out there.
And we're underway as Tyrese Bender controls for the Cardinals from St. Anne.
And David Merchant underneath guarding the assignment on Felix Thurman. Thurman can really get up inside.
Thurman trying to find something to do, and now he'll try that shot, which is ill-advised, but he gets his own rebound.
There's one of those 14 rebounds a game he's already got.
From the wing is Bender. Too much iron. But he's got his own rebound and crashing the glass. That won't count. Too many steps
first. He got the ball inside, and Bender only goes at about 5'5" out there. 5'6" actually. I shorted him by an inch.
A little pressure there, but nicely broken by Ben Powers, who's out front with a basketball. This is Ballwinkle. This is the sophomore. Not that time. And another rebound for Felix Thurman.
Ballwinkle had to adjust that shot inside as Thurman was high up top to defend it inside.
Bender. They're 0 for 3. Ballwinkle high, and he's got a man down court. It's Nelson, and he gets it stripped away by Bender.
Nice defense that time by Bender. He knew he had a size disadvantage down there. Just stripped the ball away and was able to get his defense set.
Winnebago comes in averaging 70 points a contest. St. Anne 66 points a contest. Of course, St. Anne. Here's Ballwinkle. Does he get it? Nope, not yet. Crashing. Everybody's fighting for it and coming down with it. Was Tisdale, who spots a wide open Merchant, but he can't find it, and nobody's honing in on that thing with the net yet, Matt.
No, that was a tough call on Powers underneath. He was just standing up straight and just got called for the over the back call.
As you can see, these two schools not all that far apart. Winnebago, the northernmost contested down here. St. Anne not far from Chicago. We've played 1 minute 15 seconds, and nobody's found the net yet. Batted away by Bobby Tisdale. Tisdale, as he gets a little more comfortable here on this floor, we'll tell you about his career. Thurman wants it, gets it. Felix Thurman has ended the drought.
Nice move inside that time by Thurman. Goes up strong on the baseline with one hand. He's able to get the ball over the rim.
They list him at 6'4", but with those arms and that jumping ability, he plays like he's 6'8", doesn't he?
He really does. I mean, he takes a lot of space inside, very strong, active inside. That time he went strong to the hoop and got 2.
Foul on Bender. Tyrese Bender picks up the personal foul as Winnebago wants to get something going here. Tisdale will force the issue along the baseline, and he'll draw the personal.
Called on Weathersby that time. He tried to cut off the baseline that time, and Tisdale a little too quick getting to the baseline before him. Drew the foul.
Winnebago, just about 2,500 people. School-wise, 525. They outnumber Kankakee there, of course, the Kankakee County kids. There's a jumper out from the side by Tisdale, but the rebound is put back up and in by Ben Powers.
On the out-of-bounds play that time, Thurman got himself outside the lane, and then it was just a volleyball match inside for Winnebago.
Here comes that track meet we were talking about. Count those 2 up for Jeremy Davis. One pass and a slash, and it's 4-2.
I thought Davis actually might have walked on that as well. He got the rebound and took a couple of steps.
The misfire, and here comes Davis again. Shut down for a while, but Bender wants it and gets it. Yeah. Bender with a nice little move down the lane using the left hand, and St. Anne is up on Winnebago.
Bender at 5'6" kind of got lost inside there. Nobody picked him up. He was able to get an easy look.
Nelson almost lost that, but there will be a foul out front. Looks like Jeremy Davis, and that's who it will go against. 13 foul on St. Anne. And what you dread when you're coming down here, if you're any coach, Joe Murphy, of course, for Winnebago, you don't want to start that first quarter out like this. Another turnover. Davis down quickly. Again to the glass. Not that time. Up high for the rebound was Ben Powers. Ben likes the numbers all the way down. Kicks
Good
it
pass
over.
off.
Count him up. That is Kevin Terville, who just checked into the ball game. As Coach Murphy told me, he could start on most high school teams. He just happens to be their 6th man on a very talented team and a very deep team.
Well, he's averaging 7 points a game. He's got the 2nd most 3-point makes on the team.
That's Jeff Weathersby with his first 2. Weathersby averaging 15 on the campaign. St. Anne doubled up now, 8-4. That's Bender on Ballwinkle, and Bender is their defensive specialist. He came in during the super sectional game and shut down All-Stater Josh Simpson of Tri-Valley. And he's trying to do the same thing to Ballwinkle. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. And of course, Chevrolet. Stop by and see your local Chicago, Northwest Indiana, or Central Illinois Chevy dealer today. And AGCO, you have got to drive one. There's Ballwinkle. He's unleashed.
I tell you, you can see by the way he rose up with that shot, he's got the ability to put some points on the board. He's averaging about 14 on the season. Very versatile player.
Tyrese Bender, only 5'6", 130, but he doesn't shy away from the big guys. He likes to go inside, and you can see that vertical leap of his makes up for the 5'6".
I think Bobby Tisdale had, was a little excited there seeing that Bender was coming in the lane. He was really aggressive on that shot block opportunity. Got a bird in the gymnasium.
Is it a Cardinal?
I don't believe so.
Because we know he'd be rooting for St. Anne's if that was the case. Checking in is Lawrence Taylor. And yeah, he looks like a defensive end, let me tell you, but this kid can handle the basketball. You'll be amazed when he does isolate. Not a good free throw shooter as Bender, but he makes 1 or 2. And we've got a timeout on the floor with St. Anne off to a 9-6 lead here at the Carver Arena. It's the IHSA Class A basketball tournament, and we're back after this on the IHSA television network. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Apt Electronics and Appliances. For the largest selection of electronics and appliances at the best possible price, visit Apt in Glenview and Massey Ferguson. What to depend on. The Indians of Winnebago had a case of the jitters early, couldn't get anything to fall, but then Devin Ballwinkle, who has the basketball now, number 21, started loosening things up. Tisdale hangs and hits.
Nice bucket there by Tisdale. I thought he might have forced the issue a couple times early on in the ball game. That time he was a little bit more under control in the lane, knocked down a big shot.
And look at Bender break the D and put it up, but too high, but back and gathering is Thurman and making it count. Boy,
I think Thurman just wanted to get a rebound there. It was a decent pass, just didn't go up after it, but really breaking the pressure, going right to the basket. You got to make him pay.
Brandon Johnson, number 55 in the ballgame for Winnebago, and here's a turnover. Coming the other way is Davis. Davis with a kickoff to the right side. Make it Clay Butler with the glass.
Butler didn't start the ball game, but he averages 13 points on the season, second in scoring on the team. He can put some points on the board in a hurry.
Way outside is Kevin Terville, and it's not there again. The fast break, and Lawrence Taylor.
Watch out.
Look out. He almost got a sack of a cheerleader there.
LT. Got to give him some credit for running hard down the floor. Ball just a little too far out of his reach. Great hustle play. Clay leading him a little too much that time. A little damage there on the floor. You can hear the squealing of the little skin left on the court.
Hey, somebody get the polish out, man. That piece of hardwood needs to be rebuffed.
LT 5'10", 250.
Somebody said in one of the local papers this morning, he looks like a dead ringer for Fat Albert. I'm not going to ask him if that's true. I'm not going to mess with him. Mr. Ballwinkle passes it on over, and Nelson says thank you very much with the tray. And St. Anne's lead is back to just 2. Anthony Jones in the ball game wearing number 11, bringing it up all the way. Count it, man. We told you it was going to be a track meet, and, well, Matt, we just can't lie.
It's hard to press against this team. You know, both teams really like to get it to the basket in a hurry. Not a lot of passing was going on, but as soon as they get across half court, they're looking to score.
Ballwinkle can't find it, but gets his own rebound. Again, Nelson. Way off. Come on. Here comes Lawrence Taylor with a baseball pass. Felix Thurman in the house.
I thought LT played linebacker, not quarterback.
Well, he's got a good arm on him, too. That has the place buzzing. Winnebago down by 6, gets it right back.
Brian Kaufman again off the bench, 2 points for Winnebago.
Ooh, almost a steal there by Nelson, and we've got a tie up, and let's see where the arrow points. It points the way of the St. Anne Cardinals, who will take the ball down court with a 4-point lead.
We talked about that bench production for Winnebago. They've had 2 buckets out of their bench already, and that's just something they really rely on. 15 points a game that they average out of their bench production.
And you see a lot of teams, you know, spot starters, and they're in there to play a little D, you know, give somebody a rest. But these guys, every one of them that comes off the bench for Winnebago, they'll not be shy about firing up a 3 or anything they feel is open. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Weathersby with a bounce pass to you-know-who. Felix Thurman again.
I'll tell you, Thurman is just taking over this ball game. He's got 8 points already, go along with 3 rebounds. He's really a force inside.
Inside they go to Powers, who's double teamed and kicks it back out to Merchant. Wide open out front. Terville can't buy it, and the rebound comes down to Powers. Make it Clay Butler. And Butler all the way down, doesn't like what he sees. Well, now he does. Hangs, 12-footer, too much iron. But Thurman's going to make him pay.
I tell you, he is so active on the offensive boards. He really timed and positioned himself well to get in position for that rebound and back up and in.
Here's a nice drive by Powers. And this is basically what you'd find at the arcade. We basically have a pinball machine in place of a scoreboard here. It's 21-15 with still over a minute remaining in the first quarter.
This is really what we expected out of this ball game, though. Both teams really looking to get the ball up and down the floor, and you really make them pay when they try to press you.
And both teams, of course, 9 deep, so they keep the fresh bodies in. Johnny Melton coming in. Tourney history, as you can see, Winnebago with their 3rd appearance, but they haven't been here in a while. 20 years is a long time. Unless you're a teenager, then it doesn't seem like a long time. Bringing it up is Michael Bender. Only scores 2.5 points a game, but he can run the point and stick to the leading scorer of the other team. They might just hold here. Weathersby, who really carried them in the regionals with 45 points in 2 games. He's playing keep away out front.
5 seconds.
Well, a little too good to keep away.
Good job by Tisdale. Stay with the ball handler there and maintain that proximity to the ball, and that allowed them to get the 5-second call.
How long has it been since we've had a 100-point game at state? I'm thinking this might be one of them.
I don't know, but I know in one of the regional games that Winnebago put 100 points up on the board, and they're capable, both teams in this game, really looking to score.
The interior pass gets away, so St. Anne will get another chance to play for the last shot. Bender to Bender. Michael wearing number 1, Tyrese number 3, and this is the 6'1" junior Weathersby. He wants to go with 10. Spin. Ball gets away from him, but his arm was slapped. And we'll see if it's a shooting foul. Looked like he was.
He will give him 2 shots.
On his way up, and that is going to be the call. Brian Kaufman getting set to check back in. Nobody in any real foul trouble for either team right now. You saw that streak. St. Anne had a team meeting right after Christmas. They dropped 2 games, one at a Christmas tournament, then they dropped the one right afterwards. That Christmas tournament game was a championship game for that tournament. They dropped it. On Monday, when they got back to school, the players met. They haven't lost since. I'd like to know what they said.
Don't lose.
Well, they're keeping their mission statement. That one's off the mark, and at the end of the first 8 minutes of play, St. Anne with 23 bullets up there, leading by 8. We're back with more from Carver Arena after these local messages. Whoa. The IHSA TV crew would like to thank everyone over at Three Fat Guys Pizza in East Peoria. The crew has been enjoying pizza, sandwiches, and a lot of other items from the Fat Guys menu. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Three Fat Guys, a tasty choice for dinner or lunch. They open daily at 11 a.m. And the shot is up and in by Bobby Tisdale. Call Fat Guys at 309-698-9333. The other way, not this time. Rebound coming down to Ben Powers, and back we go. 2-on-1. Nelson likes it, doesn't get it. Rebound, cleared away. Thurman.
Thurman got up high again for that rebound.
Clay Butler. That's just a soft little shot, isn't it?
Butler's really been active since he's been in the ball game, looking to push the ball up the floor and take his shot opportunities. Nice little soft jumper in the lane that time.
And both teams like to run, but when you're the one down by 8, you might hesitate a little bit, but then you might get out of your game plan. Neither of these teams are known for their half-court game. Tisdale in and out. Tip out to Bawwinkle. And they've kept a tight lid on him. Again, Tisdale. This time he rises.
A little better look that time by Tisdale. The first shot seemed to be rushed, but St. Anne at the other end really pushing the ball up the floor, shooting 60% in the early going.
There's Butler, but that won't count. The whistle before the action, and the charge on Tyrese Bender before he dropped off the mail. He can't believe it, but that will be the call. That's a fortunate break for Winnebago because that was an easy 2.
Yeah, Butler had an easy lay-in after the foul was called, and I thought Bender, if there was any contact there, it wasn't very much. Bender is a pretty slight 5'6".
Anthony Jones back in the ball game for St. Anne wearing number 11. This is Tisdale with a 14-footer that comes up far short, but he's got his own bucket. Tough shot and got it.
That's 8 points in the ball game now for Tisdale. He's really trying to pick up his game offensively.
Bobby with the leaner, he averages 12 points a contest. And here's Butler losing it out front. The arrow after the jump ball will keep it in St. Anne's possession.
One of the first times we've seen Winnebago be able to execute that trap defense down the floor. Most of the times St. Anne's been able to break it without any problem whatsoever.
When you got that kind of speed and ball handling, presses are like gnats at the family picnic. You just knock them off. Now some perimeter pressure. There's Michael Bender. Surveys the situation, finds a crease, goes, and gets it blocked by Bawwinkle. Here we go the other way. Tisdale down, stops, 12-footer, no. Rebound, Thurman. Boy, I wonder if he wants that back and take it to the glass.
Well, I really thought Tisdale had room to go all the way to the basket, just pulled up for that little mid-range jump shot. That's a much tougher shot than trying to get it up off the glass.
Davis with the basketball will kick it back out front to Weathersfield. Look at this spin. But Bawwinkle stay right in his jersey.
Oh, he's going to get called. One official called a jump ball. The other 2 officials were calling a foul.
And I think it's going to be a jump ball.
Well, they had 2 officials who called the foul, or were looking like they were going to call a foul, didn't immediately call it. The guy who called the jump ball did, and that's why he ruled over them.
4-point game, St. Anne with the lead. Here's Bawwinkle, baseline, no. Rebound Merchant, go back up and not get it. Rebounding is Thurman, and you can't have too many chances down there with Thurman.
That's 6 boards already here in the first half for Thurman. He races everything that comes off the rim, and he's in any kind of vicinity.
And again, Thurman averaging 14 boards a contest. Davis, that's pretty.
Right now, Winnebago doesn't have a stopper inside defensively. St. Anne's really taking it to the bucket at will, with the exception of Bawwinkle in the last block shot. They've not been able to hold him off.
Well, Tisdale almost got a foul on the offensive drive, warding a man off with his left elbow, and then ends up getting the personal, fighting for the rebound over the back. And he's gassed. Tisdale will ask to be taken out for a blow. Checking back in is Chad Nelson. Also coming out is Bawwinkle, and he's kind of been the story of this game as far as St. Anne's defense is concerned.
Well, and offensively, he really hasn't gotten himself going. He's trying to take advantage of a smaller defender guarding him most of the time. It's either Michael Bender or Weathersby, and those guys have held their ground very well, and Bawwinkle's getting a little frustrated offensively.
Here's a little helter-skelter, and it's going to end up down that way for Ryan Kaufman, and the turnover makes it a 4-point contest again, and now we got travel.
And straight turnovers on the pressure, full court now by Winnebago.
We've got a timeout on the floor with St. Anne holding on to that 4-point lead. It's state tournament basketball on the IHSA television network.
Welcome back to Carver Arena. St. Anne, the 4-point lead. The last time they were at state, 1973, when a guy by the name of Jack Sikma led him here. Al Hubert was the head coach back then. Tell me about those memories from 30 years ago.
That's been quite a ways back, but they're still implanted in the mind. We had a good ball club that year.
Tell me about Jack Sikma. He was kind of an unknown quantity and stayed at a small college then.
Yes, he did. Bridges was very fortunate in finding him at that small school like that, but he did a real great job. Good guy, good student.
I know Jack. I've interviewed him. He didn't have quite the jumping ability that these guys do.
No, when Jack played for us, he played out. He started out as a freshman about 6'1", and by the time he was a junior, he was about 6'5", and then by the senior, he was 6'8". So he played a wing for us, but we moved up and down the floor.
All right, Al Hubert, good to see you. Thanks for your memories of March Madness. From 1973, St. Anne took home a 4th place trophy that year.
Thank you, Lee Hall. Of course, Coach Al Hubert is the honorary coach today for St. Anne. A lot has changed in the world in 30 years, hasn't it, Matt? But not desire on the basketball court. Lawrence Taylor, get a good look at him. They scored 90 once this year, been held to 46. What did they only have one basket in the gym that night? How did that work?
They had to take it all the way to the other end and come back.
6-point St. Anne advantage as Winnebago brings it up in their black and orange. They've only lost once this year.
Out of the last time out there, the play was set for LT to bring the ball down the floor, and he was able to get it down there and get fouled.
Merchant loses it on the way up, but gathering it back was Terville. And now Nelson eyes the three, but it's in and out. And here comes Clay Butler.
For Winnebago, just really content right now to launch the 3-point shot. They're 1 out of 10 in the ball game. Whereas St. Anne's only attempted 2 shots, but is really trying to drive the ball to the basket, shooting 57%. Most of their shots are in the lane area right there.
That's Jeremy Davis. And they say walk with a basketball.
And even though St. Anne's been able to dribble, penetrate, and get the ball to the basket, Winnebago has not slacked off and given them a step, and that's allowed them to get a couple of 5-second calls.
Devin Bowwinkle with only 2 points here in the first half. But the super soft once more, too much iron, rebound comes on down to Jeremy Davis. That's a shot he wanted. He created his own shot.
It is. You got to give them credit, though. They're really defending him well. He's 1 out of 5 in the ball game. Really struggling offensively, not getting good clean looks at the basket.
Down low is Weathersby. He'll force it and won't get it. Rebound, Merchant. Merchant comes out of there. They've got some numbers down the other way. Comes Terville. Yep.
Another one of those super subs, Terville off the bench, averaging 7 a game. He's got 4 already here in this ball game.
And of course, he's also a 3-point specialist, hitting 40 on the year. Butler one-on-one, hang in and got the soft touch.
St. Anne really has the numbers when they break that press, and they make you pay.
Merchant likes the shot, not the result. Look at Butler. What's the call? I think Bowwinkle moved in on him, and that is going to be the call. The sophomore with a personal foul, and with 2:37 remaining here in the first half of play in the second quarterfinal game. St. Anne has a chance to pad that 6-point advantage. Back in comes Felix Thurman. Highs for Winnebago. As Matt told you earlier, they broke the century mark not all that long ago, and of course that's a low, 52. Some teams call that an average.
You know, the 11 3-point shots they've already attempted here in the half shouldn't come as a big surprise. They took 543 3-point shots on the season compared to only 290 for St. Anne, and most of their opponents about 270.
Nice move by Mr. Jeff Weathersby. They call him the Iceman because when it's game time on the line, he likes the ball in his hands. And right now with an 8-point advantage, a perfect pass down low, but Kaufman couldn't field it, and now we've got a jump ball. They got the interior pass they wanted, but not the catch.
There's actually Brandon Johnson inside coming off that back screen, and he thought he was wide open, tried to go up before he had the ball in his hands, and just a little unfortunate in that situation that the held ball's possession is going to go over to St. Anne.
And you can see Brandon not too enthused with his hands at the moment. St. Anne trying to get up by double digits, and they like these numbers. Butler, count them up. Clay Butler just slash into the basket, and they have no answer. And now another turnover. And right now, St. Anne has everything going their way.
Winnebago really playing out of control offensively. Defensively, they just aren't getting back that time. There were 4 defenders on the other side of half court as the bucket was made by Butler.
Winnebago's been a second-half team all year. Across to Butler, that's too easy. Assist by Davis, and it's a 12-point ball game.
Butler did not start the ball game, but he's got 10 points, 5 out of 6 shooting, 62% as a team.
This is an important minute 20 for these black and orange clad. Oh, what a shot by Bobby Tisdale.
Tisdale's made a couple of circus shots, and that's the second foul now on Ballwinkle in the backcourt, about 70 feet from the basket.
And they may get him out of there, and I think they will before the intermission. There you see the shot by Tisdale. Thank goodness for gravity. Huh? That's probably the only reason.
That's his second circus-like shot. He's 5 out of 9 in the ball game. As a team, they're shooting 38%. But they just haven't got much support anywhere else. And Ballwinkle now is going to take a seat. 1 out of 5 in the ball game. Two fouls in the first half.
Jeremy Davis, who has an unusual spelling for that, Jeremy. G-E-R-A-M-E-I. He's a 65% free throw shooter. And that rainbow finds too much iron, and it's gathered in by Brandon Johnson.
Critical stretch right here now for Winnebago. Down 10, a minute to play.
Long jumper isn't there by Johnson, and I told you they'll fire up the threes. Butler wants to slow down and wait for some teammates, and let's see how head coach Rick Schoon wants to play it. Rick Schoon, of course, played as a high schooler for St. Anne. Here's Lawrence Taylor with the dish, and it's good to Mr. Butler. How many times you see a 250-pounder slashing down the lane and delivering the dish?
He's got a little bit of handle on him. You know, he got that ball inside, a little behind the back move, a nice pass inside to Butler. 12 points in the first half for Butler.
Powers, forces, hits. 10-point St. Anne lead, and I told you, let Taylor bring it out. Look at this. He unloads.
Oh, how can that not be a charge?
And it is. That is going to be. That's a double charge.
I think the left half of LT got the charge that time. It didn't hit him square on, but the left half was enough to pick up the charging foul.
There's 3 people in the front row with like bruises right now just from being that close to that. LT knocked down the defender, as you can see right here. Setting up shot was Ben Powers. Oh, man.
Powers may think twice about taking that charge next time.
I would suspect that Winnebago and Joe Murphy will just kind of hang here with 17 seconds left to go. Ballwinkle's going to come in. Actually, he's going to come out, excuse me, and because with those 2 personal fouls, they want to make sure that he doesn't pick up.
I'm not sure why he came out on offense, though. That wasn't probably a smart move.
Nelson waits for somebody. That somebody right now is Terville, and now it's Merchant. Glass, yes! And that's the way the first half comes to a close. A little momentum shift for Winnebago as they trail by 8 in an up and down contest here at the Carver Arena. 39-31, 70 points on the board already, Matt.
Well, and I think that St. Anne has just really dictated the tempo in this ball game. Winnebago needs to correct some of their defensive deficiencies here in the first half.
Lee Hall standing by with Rick Schoon. Lee.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Boy, not a lot went wrong for you there first half.
Defensively, I think we need to get a little better. I thought we did a nice job on the glass in the first half. Offensively, we're kind of in the flow that we want to be in right now, but it's also the type of tempo that Winnebago wants, so I'm sure it's going to continue to be the same way in the second half.
You guys did an awesome job of getting to the basket offensively.
Well, that's been the main thing we've had to do all year. We tell our kids to be aggressive, going to the basket. We're kind of handling the ball a little too much. Got to do a much better job getting other guys open and quit trying to dribble the ball so much, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, good luck to you second half, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Rick Schoon, back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Lee. Peoria Christian has beaten Massac County 79-65, and now St. Anne leads by 8 at the break. We are back after these local messages.
welcome back to Carver Arena, downtown Peoria. 39-31, our halftime score. We are with St. Anne Superintendent Fred Harris. Pretty good first half for you there, sir.
Oh, excellent, excellent. The kids have played well the first half. We're excited about that. Even the fans are, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Hubert during the game there, 1973. It's been a while since you all been here.
Right, it's almost 25, 30 years approximately. 1973, 74, I believe. That was the year that we're here with, at that time was Jack Sigma, I believe, you know. Absolutely, and it's been a long time, but it's welcomed, I tell you, absolutely.
Tell me about St. Anne High School. Like a lot of high schools in Illinois and across the country have faced budget problems. In fact, you guys lost athletics for a couple of years. Tell me about that.
We were out of, well, we had to drop basketball and several of the other programs due to funding. There was a funding error. Well, I should say there was a census count error, and they withdrew or held back approximately $300,000, a little bit over, from the district. And over a period of, I guess, between 5 and 7 years, that kind of caught up with us. But ultimately, the legislature did correct that. But in the meantime, we had to drop a lot of programs, academic programs, athletic programs, you know, and so forth. It was really bad for the district. We can't afford to lose. In fact, we can't afford to lose now because of the fact that we're 70% of our kids are indigent kids pretty much, and athletics and strong academic classes mean so much to them, basically. You know what I mean? And we've done well so far this year, we think, in the last couple of years, in fact. But our team this year kind of says it all pretty much. It kind of united the three communities, really. We have 3 feeder schools. You might say they feed into the high school, or 2 rather. And the basketball team has been kind of a rallying point, even for the grade schools, both St. Anne and Lorenzo Smith School. We're very proud of them, absolutely.
I was going to say, it's just kind of a storybook thing to have gone through what you went through not that long ago, to have the team here. And I understand you guys are going to have a new school building, too.
They're about 85 to 90% finished with it, and we're scheduled to move in, I believe, August, this coming August, as a matter of fact. The existing structure is going to be demolished, I guess, probably sometime in the latter part of May or the first part of June they're in, after they do the abatement and so forth. Sure.
Good to have you here in Peoria.
Thanks very much. We're glad to be here.
All right, Fred Harris of St. Anne High School. His Cardinals lead it here at halftime. Back with more after these local messages.
Welcome back to Carver Arena. Peoria is hopping today. Game 1 was pretty darn exciting. Up and down it went. And, of course, Game 2 in the same mold. St. Anne leading, as you can see there, by 8. But remember, Winnebago is a second-half team. They came back in the second half against a highly rated Rock Falls team and did them in down the wire. So I'm sure they're talking amongst themselves there in the locker room.
They need to correct their defense more than anything else and get Devin Ballwinkle involved in the game. Only 2 points really has not been a factor at all.
Let's take a look at those statistics here. And, of course, one stat will jump out at you. Clay Butler, of course, when we get to the individual stats. But look at that shooting by St. Anne, Matt.
St. Anne shot 63% in the first half to only 41% for Winnebago. And a lot of that's from the three-point range. Only 1 out of 11 for Winnebago in this ball game. St. Anne's been the only team to go to the free throw line, 5 out of 7 from the line. And they're also doing a good job on the boards. Again, Felix Thurman really creating some problems inside. He's leading the way with 6 boards to have that 18-13 14 advantage. Both teams have five assists, and St. Anne actually has more turnovers in the ball game than does Winnebago.
Tisdale, of course, leading the way for Winnebago with 10 points, followed by Ben Powers with 6. The Butler is doing it all. He's got 5 rebounds and 12 points. And, of course, Felix Thurman, the junior, is a load. He's got a lot of rebounds already, averaging 14 a game. And as you saw, a bucket full of points as well. We're back with more. Second half just moments away on the IHSA TV network. We're back after these local messages. Time to do just that. 39-31, the Cardinals of St. Anne riding that 18-game winning streak, and here is how they got out in front. Matt?
Yeah, Jeremy Davis taking advantage of that, breaking the press again. When they break the press, they attack the basket. That's a key here. And then Clay Butler, when he comes in the game, he was all over the place. But early on, Tyrese Bender was doing some damage before he picked up a couple of fouls. For Winnebago down the floor, Powers did a good job of getting the ball to the basket. Nice dump off that time by Terville for the 2 of his 4 points in the first half. But again, when St. Anne gets the ball down the floor, they're attacking the basket. Clay Butler did a good job coming off the bench, leading the way with 12 points.
And there's that
touchdown with the touchdown pass. Felix Thurman all the way down the floor. Thurman had 10 points, go along with his 6 boards in the first half. He was excited. And at the other end, Powers again, he was 3 for 3 from the floor, only had 6 points, just didn't get many opportunities. But again, Bowwinkle just really didn't help out much. And then Terville again, 2 of his 4 points off the bench. Again, that damage that their bench can do, the super subs coming off the bench for Winnebago.
And of course, Joe Murphy won the rally here in the second half. He is standing by with our Lee Hall. Lee, right, it's all yours.
All right, we are with Coach Murphy. Coach, judging by what you did in the super sectional, you got these guys right where you want them.
Well, I don't know about that. They're awful quick, and they're a good shooting ball club. We just got to stop some of that penetration.
Yeah, what else did you tell your team there at halftime? Your sophomore hasn't gotten many looks either.
Yeah, we just got to settle down a little bit and start running our O better. Try to get a few more passes and look to get to the basket.
All right, Jim, back to you. Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you.
And of course, the coach is the woodshop teacher. When he showed up for the shoot-around yesterday, he was dressed like a woodshop teacher. He said, "Hey, I'm Cash. I'm Cash." Hey, we're back with more. Second half just around the corner on the IHSA television network. Welcome back to the Peoria Civic Center. Winnebago's out there first, and it'll be interesting to keep your eye on number 22 for Winnebago. He is the emotional leader of this team. Ben Powers has been known, as we mentioned before, to step up in the locker room and give a speech that fires this team up in the second half. A second half team all season long, and they'll need to be that here this afternoon.
Well, you've got a group of seniors that's played together since they were in the 6th grade. So they've been through situations like this before. They're a cohesive unit. They're going to try to rally around this. But the guy they really need to step up is a sophomore in this whole mix, and that's Devin Bowwinkle.
Same starting 5, Tisdale. Chad Nelson with the basketball right now. That's Ben Powers.
Michael Bender starting the second half again, just like he did the ball game. And a lot of that is just the assignment that he's drawn on Bowwinkle, and Bowwinkle again walks.
They say that Mr. Bender, Michael, will get in your head. And apparently that's where he's parked right now as far as Devin Ballwinkle is concerned, because that's just an unforced turnover.
Yeah, when you're Winnebago and you come out in the second half and the other team's leading scorer isn't even on the floor, it's got to deflate you a little bit.
The Butler's resting at the moment. Here's a foul down along the baseline as Weathersby had it. Merchant tried to take it away, but unsuccessfully.
His second foul on Merchant.
A long day of basketball here, which is just the way we like it. Second half of the quarterfinals tonight. Inside, Thurman gets it blocked, but that's a foul on Ballwinkle, and that is 3.
That is his third. I actually thought it was a pretty good block that time. Thurman did a good job of just making himself big inside. Great hands, though, on the entry pass. Nice little skip bounce pass. But Devin Ballwinkle has picked up his third foul trying to go for the shot clock.
And Thurman, only a junior, is not an expert marksman from this distance. As you saw, only 45% on the year, and you know that's the beauty of being 16. You can work on it, but free throws, at least missed ones, drive everybody nuts.
It looks a lot easier than it is, but more and more you see kids struggle from that free throw line.
9-point lead. Merchant lost it.
2 possessions, 2 travels for the Winnebago Indians.
I'm looking at Joe Murphy off to my right here, and let's just say he would not win excitable man contest. He just takes it casually. Been there for 17 years as the head coach. Seen a lot.
I don't think he left the bench in the first half until he had to with a timeout.
There's almost a dangerous pass on the wing, but Thurman's got such great hands and great control. Not that time. Ballwinkle will draw the foul as Thurman, that was a frustration foul. I think he just thought he should have dropped that one in and then went after it and picked up the personal.
I think it was somewhat of a natural reaction for Thurman. The ball's up on the glass. He's going after it. You know, just barely missed that shot. Nice little angle. Tried to get it up off the glass and pick up his first foul, trying to get it back.
So St. Anne has gone the first minute without changing the scoreboard number. And they want to stop that right now.
Michael Bender not leaving Ballwinkle's shadow out there on the floor.
Nelson forces it, gets it. That's a tough drive from Chad Nelson. His coach said when he was a freshman, we called him a squirrel. He was so goofy. He just didn't seem to care about the game, and that all changed, and now he's a mature starter for this Winnebago Indian team.
He's got 5 points in the ballgame now. Big bucket that time, but again, as he's going to the bucket, 30 feet away was Bender guarding Ballwinkle.
Davis with that step drive and glass. Man, that's tough to stop. Get that big jump and then go on up. There's a man open underneath. That's Merchant. Count it.
He was blocked coming off the board there momentarily by Thurman, but he was just a little slow getting down the floor.
42-35. Man, if you like points, stay with us. And don't go make a sandwich. You might miss about 10 of them. Tyrese Bender, all 5-6 of them. So many good ball handlers on this Cardinal team. Here's the bad news for Winnebago. Butler's still on the bench. And he's just chomping to get in.
St. Anne's been much more patient here.
Yeah.
Second half. Winnebago's done a better job of guarding the ball out on the perimeter.
Bender does it again. Going up inside against taller men with a little scoop.
He certainly is not afraid to take the ball inside, but he gets good angles. And again, a lay-in for St. Anne.
Nelson had the wide open look, but couldn't get it. Coming down with a rebound was Jeremy Davis. Cardinals trying to go up by double digits on this trip.
Another three-point attempt that time by Winnebago. 1 out of 12 now in the ball game.
And of course, that's their forte. 189 made threes this season coming into this game. But as you heard Matt say, uno so far. He wouldn't do it again. No, not this time. Bender ran right into a black jersey, and that ball will come the other way. Well, he tried a little 360 and ran into a tree. This IHSA broadcast is being brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. and Chevrolet. Stop by and see your local Chicago, Northwest Indiana, or Central Illinois Chevy dealer today. And AGCO, you've got to drive one. Trailing by 9. Their super sophomore, who's already got an invitation from Wisconsin. Other schools looking. He can't say anything. He's only a sophomore. Inside Merchant. Left hand, yes.
Tough shot inside that time by Merchant. Felix Thurman did a great job guarding him. Got up with the shot, pressured it. Just a nice little left-hand jump hook.
And you have to wonder how well St. Anne's plays in this half court. I mean, they're born to run. Let's see how they handle it out front. That's Anthony Jones in the ball game.
Well, the one thing that Winnebago has done here in the second half is they pulled off that press.
Yep.
I mean, it was clearly ineffective in the first half, and just now trying to meet St. Anne at half court.
Davis, yes indeed. Davis saw the crease, turned on the Jets, and here we come the other way. Tisdale up, no. Rebound Butler, who's back in the game. St. Anne by 9.
Iron was unkind that time by Tisdale. Tried to get it up off the glass again. The rim got in the way.
Anthony Jones with a kick, and not quite ready for it. A little bit too low. Jeff Weathersby let it get between the legs. So the turnover gives Winnebago a chance, and they really haven't strung too many baskets together.
No, and you really got to credit St. Anne for that. They've really done a good job defensively.
The Benders, of course, the brothers and the cousin. Kind of a mind bender right now if you're Winnebago. Need it. Do not get it. Tisdale misses his last 2 shots. Down the other way, wide open is Davis, and he missed it, but Thurman will not be denied. You give these guys a couple chances, you got troubles.
Thurman's always in the right place at the right time. You're right, that last shot down there, Tisdale really needed that 3-point shot to drop, and there's still the woes continue from the 3-point line. 1 out of 13. They're kind of living and dying by the threes, and today they're dying by them.
When the 3 came in, when it became a staple of high school basketball, Coach Murphy wouldn't even let his team shoot one the first year. He's like, what do we need to be out there for? We're not going to shoot any threes. Well, now, of course, they put up 543 coming into today's game. And 7-10-13, as Matt just noted already today, but only 1 is dropped. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Thurman comes up empty. Nice bounce pass by Bawwinkle. In the game is Johnson with that basketball. Bawwinkle is just dogged. Right now, the assignment belongs to Davis on the defense.
And that's the luxury that St. Anne has had as well. They've been able to rotate some players guarding Bawwinkle, and this time it's Davis on the defensive end.
You just got to fire from that 3-point range because they're denying you inside just like that, as Thurman stepped in the lane and took the turnover the other way. Uh-oh. If he gathers, which he does, but he decided to pass it, and now Bawwinkle will come down with a little space to operate. Stop, pop, in and out. Rebound, fought for, and walking away with it is Jeremy Davis. Boy, they've had some crucial misses the last 2 minutes.
Well, again, Bawwinkle had to work so hard to even get in position to get the shot off. Getting the rebound or the steal at one end, getting down the floor, positioning himself, and just didn't have anything left on the shot.
Weathersby stops, gets.
St. Anne does a great job of just spreading the floor, breaking you down defensively, getting in the paint, and getting easy lay-ins.
An 11-point lead. Bawwinkle contended again by Davis, who partially blocked that one, and Bawwinkle's just having a heck of a time. The other way, it's Butler back again and missed both of them. Rebound, Weathersby had it, and now the jumper is not there by Thurman. 4 attempts. And let me tell you, Winnebago's lucky to get out of there, only trailing by 11.
And Bawwinkle couldn't afford to pick up a foul in that situation. Didn't really help out on the boards.
And Coach Joe Murphy wants a timeout. He's going to gather his Indians together. As we said, they have come back many, many times in the second half, but right now St. Anne's is having none of it, leading 48-37. Don't forget tonight, Kurt Pegler and Roger Lowe and Lee Hall will be back for that third quarterfinal. Breeze Central against a very talented Chicago Leo team. Then it's Pana. They have that tradition at Pana. They keep it going. versus a very tough defensive Quincy Notre Dame game. And we hope you'll join us for both those contests tonight.
Quincy Notre Dame, very veteran team, similar to Winnebago this afternoon. And right now, that veteran leadership needs to step forward for Winnebago.
Yeah, the Winnebago fans are waiting for something to shout about.
Bowwinkle's going to sit down after this timeout, try to regain his composure a little bit.
You're looking at Daryl Stremming there. He received the Officials Attitude Award given by last year's winner, Bill Fritcher. It's a kind of a pre-tourney tradition the officials have. So if you talk to Daryl, you won't hear any negatives, apparently. And it's not easy being an official and not hearing negatives, is it, Matt?
No, this crew's done a great job. You know, you can usually tell when officials have done a good job if you don't notice them in the game.
Exactly.
We really have not noticed any calls or missed calls throughout the ball game. They've done a great job.
Peoria Christian, if you're just joining us, has advanced. There are the officials, as you saw there in the left corner of your screen. Forcing it and making them pay is Ben Powers. The emotional leader needs to get something going because his team trails at 48-39 after the bucket. Tisdale trying to force a turnover out front.
Powers was the one guy in the first half who was effective on the offensive end, did not miss a shot. Now he's got 8 in the ball game on 4 attempts.
Lawrence Taylor, a little crossover action. Down low to Butler, and he gets the assist. Lawrence Taylor at 250, working the lane and finding his man. Somebody's got to hit a 3. Nelson doesn't want it. Merchant does. Count it.
Finally got one.
Maybe that'll get him going as the third quarter winds down. Full court pressure, got it back. Tisdale scored. No, he missed the layup. Tisdale missed the layup, and that is a golden opportunity gone by. He laid it up too soft.
Boy, he just short-armed that up the glass. Tried to get over the rim again. That would have cut this lead to only 6 points. Would have been a huge momentum for Winnebago going into the fourth quarter.
Lawrence Taylor holding on to the basketball, lost it, got it back, now kicks it out. Time's a wasting, shot up no good, rebound, what's the call? A charge. Anthony Jones went up, and with 9 seconds remaining, Winnebago has a chance indeed to cut it to 6. Oh,
boy, how big would that layup have been? This would have been an opportunity to cut this ball game to 4 points. And as poorly as Winnebago shot the ball, they're still in this ball game.
There you see Chad Nelson ready to inbound. This is a set play. They'll get it into Bowwinkle. They want Bowwinkle to have the basketball. Of course, trying to deny him is Bender. He kicks it over to Merchant. Not there. Rebound fought for, and 2 missed shots in the final seconds by Winnebago. And they trail by 8, which is what they trailed at the break. Back with the final quarter from Peoria after these local messages. Winnebago fans trying to rally their team earlier today. Of course, Peoria Christian took it to Massac County. The small kids beat the big kids, basically 79-65, and there's a turnover. Butler just kind of lost the handle, lost his footing, and right now you got to take advantage. This is the 3rd trip down for Winnebago. They got to ring something up, Matt.
Well, Winnebago right now really picking up the pressure, and that time on the ball, Ben Powers was able to create the turnover.
And they turned it over the other way. Merchant was cutting inside. The ball was outside. And if St. Anne wants to play keep away, they're going to be very, very difficult to catch because of their speed. And we've got a timeout. Rick Schoon wants to talk it over with his St. Anne Cardinals, who come in rated number 16. If you haven't heard, of course, this is kind of anybody's tournament as far as the rated, because 11 of the 16 at season's end did not make it down to Peoria.
The highest seed we have left is Chicago Leo at number 3.
Yep.
Winnebago beat the number 2 team, Rock Falls, coming in.
Coming up tonight, as we told you earlier, Breeze Central will be on the air at 6:30 against Chicago Leo. Pena against Quincy Notre Dame. And this is a short trip for Quincy compared to the super sectional trip they made all the way up to the Quad Cities to the Mark to take on the Element Pioneers.
See some of the St. Anne fans there trying to cheer on their team, and the Winnebago cheerleaders hoping that 8-point lead gets whittled down a little bit.
Winnebago will go back on defense. Winnebago's kind of spread things around as far as those points are concerned, although Butler, who led them with 10 at the break, still leading with 14. Thurman has 11. Weathersby with 8. Hello, ladies. And with guys like Tyrese Bender running the thing out front, it's going to be very hard not to let them eat some clock, man.
Well, he had the ball in his hands in the first half a lot more than he has here in the second half. He's really looking to get the ball in the paint area again and create some layup opportunities for St. Anne.
7 and 20 ticks left. And now we've got a foul on Tisdale, who is not quite sure that he was the culprit, but that's the way it's going to stand. And now Tisdale will come out and get a rest, as coming in will be Chad Nelson. Tisdale shaking his head. He still can't believe he missed that layup late in the third quarter off the steal, which could really close things up here. But as it stands, St. Anne's by 8. Playing perimeter ball for a while.
Certainly St. Anne will be content to take the air out of the ball a little bit here in this fourth quarter. 7 minutes to play with an 8-point lead. Their quickness out on the floor, if they can get by them. Careful with a 5-second call. He barely picked that up a little too late that time, and that 5-second call, the third one we've seen in this ball game.
Ballwinkle with the defense, but right now his teammates would love him to see the 3. A 3 here would cut it to 5. It's been a 3-point drought for the team that used 3s to get him here. Driving power can't come up with it. And again, Thurman with a rebound.
Thurman with his 9th rebound in the ball game to go along with 11 points.
Four straight unsuccessful trips down to the offensive end for Winnebago. And now time is not their friend. Weathersby about 50 feet away from the hole. Now they've got some motion and some action, and the tip is good by Thurman. Butler couldn't get it to fall, but Thurman did just as well.
Again, attacking the basket. That's been St. Anne's forte in this ball game, and it's been very successful, shooting 56% in the ball game as a team.
They're too tentative around that three-point line right now. You can just kind of see it, man. I mean, when they're not falling like that, you start thinking to yourself, and instead of just going with the stroke, you start taking that hesitation move.
Well, the shot becomes a little tighter. The release isn't quite as good. The rim gets a little smaller. And right now, they're having their troubles from the three-point line.
Well, Joe Murphy's hoping they can find it again. It only takes a couple of strokes, and suddenly you're back in it. Nice pass underneath the Ballwinkle. He'll get the old-fashioned through. So they can make the free throw.
This may get him going. A guy that struggles out there on the floor. You get a layup inside, a nice little feed off the out-of-bounds play, good screen inside. Finally, Devin Ballwinkle gets a position where he can get a good look at the basket. Nice little lay-in and foul from behind on Thurman. But if you get a layup inside off the glass and now go to the free throw line, get your stroke going a little bit, might get him going here in the fourth quarter.
It'll be a 7-point ball game if it finds the net, but it doesn't. And the rebound comes down to Thurman. He is now in double digits.
Really tight on that free throw as well, was Ballwinkle.
Ballwinkle has been touted as a star since he was in 6th grade. Bender along the baseline gets it blocked by Ballwinkle, and here we come the other way. Numbers aren't there. He'll slow it down, find a man on the wing. It's Nelson. They need it, don't get it. Rebound, Power underneath. He'll force, no, kick out. Not there for Terville. Ballwinkle, no. Again, he missed it inside, and that's kind of the way things have gone for Winnebago.
Boy, oh boy, they just cannot get it to go down. They had 3 good looks that time. Ballwinkle's probably the best of the 3, and he's just really seeing out of the corner of his eye where Felix Thurman was.
Weathersby gets slapped on his way in. Oh, 2 point-blank shots here. One at the end of the 3rd quarter didn't fall for Tisdale, and that one doesn't fall for Ballwinkle. And those are the things that separate quarterfinalists. St. Anne's been playing their game. As Weathersby misses on his first free throw. As a team, they shoot 62% on the year, so if it comes to making the whistles blow late in this game, at least that harkens somewhat well for Winnebago if they send him to the free throw line. One of 2 for Mr. Weathersby. And again, back to 9 for St. Anne. The Cardinals back on defense. As Powers looks inside for Merchant. That's nice.
Good job by Merchant to avoid the contact inside. Powers has been very effective on the perimeter. Really just creating havoc, trying to break that press.
Bender was doing the weave there. He went through like 4 different people on his way up. Davis, not this time. Merchant has the rebound.
Big possession here.
Wide open is Powers. Crash into the glass. It'll go! It'll go! And another 3-point possibility for Winnebago as their fans sense a comeback.
Powers has really been the heart and soul of this team here this afternoon. He's done everything at both ends of the floor, and now he gets a big lay-in off the foul inside as well. The ball just kind of rolls in over the rim, creeps in. You can see his teammates are proud of Ben Powers.
They haven't put the bucket on the board yet. That's what Joe Murphy's yelling about. And he's like, could we go to the official score table, please? It's supposed to be 53-46, not 53-44. The scoreboard is not operating properly. The score you see on your screen is proper. Or is it?
No, I think it should be.
They've missed the last 2 baskets up on our scoreboard here, but according to our competent crew in the truck, it should be 53-48. And now they've changed St. Anne's score in the scoreboard here to 6. Wow, that's taking away a lot of points in a hurry.
53-48. They missed the last 2 buckets. Now they've got the St. Anne
scoreboard there.
They got the St. Anne score correct. They haven't gotten a Winnebago.
There we go. And it could be a 4-point ball game, but they missed another one. But the rebound comes down to Ballwinkle. It's up. It's no good. Rebound inside. Back up. Nelson is fouled. Make it Ben Powers crashing the glass.
Boy, Ballwinkle can just not buy a basket.
I mean, he would bury 9 or 10 of those every day. In the backyard, on the court, it doesn't matter.
Just has not gotten any confidence in this ball game. In fact, I've seen him out there when he misses a shot, he hangs his head, and that just makes that next shot even much more difficult.
Well, can Powers make it a 3-point game? He's halfway there. 4:32 remaining, and suddenly it's tightened up. St. Anne's led by 11 at one point in the second half. And now Bobby Tisdale will come back in. Checking out is Kevin Terville. Winnebago knows if they make this, and they don't. Boy, that was way short.
Boy, he's had 2 way short, and Ballwinkle had another one that barely drew the rim.
Weathersby will take some time out front. Almost a steal. Powers created it. Butler got it back, found the open man. That's a block by Merchant. Merchant went up high for the rejection. Here comes Tisdale. They don't have numbers. Tisdale wants it anyway. He's fouled.
Boy, Merchant came out of nowhere to block that ball with his left hand. Just a tremendous effort by the senior once again. We talked about these guys having a group of seniors that won't quit. Ben Merchant is one of those guys. The weak side, avoids the body contact, just picks that ball with his left hand, pins it against the glass, and they'll go the other way.
And one of their best free throw shooters at the line in Bobby Tisdale. They can't buy it.
Boy, oh boy. 4-point game. Winnebago can just kick themselves right now with some of the easy buckets they've missed. And the free throws.
And a foul.
Wow.
St. Anne will go the other way.
It'll be the 5th team foul against Winnebago, so there'll be no 1 in bonus. Ball out of bounds to go to St. Anne.
They've missed 4 of their last 5 free throws, Matt, and they trail by 4. Timeout on the floor. Don't go away. We're back after this on the IHSA Television Network. Menu items from Chili's right here in Peoria. They turn it over. St. Anne's turned it over. Ballwinkle doesn't want the shot, and they throw it away out front. Who's going to get it?
Ben Powers looked to go before he had the ball in his hand once again. Just unfortunate turnover by Winnebago once again. They just can't make St. Anne pay for the miscues they have at the other end.
Weathersby came away with that turnover. Here comes Butler. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Foul on Ballwinkle. That'll be his 4th. He had his hand on him as he was going inside.
Let's quickly go to Lee Hall. Lee?
All right, I don't think the Winnebago fans have given up yet, have you?
I love you!
Now, I got to show you this outfit right here. Where do you get a pair of tights like that?
Party City.
and how many outfits do you have that you can wear with that?
A couple, like 2.
We've got some other weird sock combinations over here. I think it's better basketball through hosiery for the Indians. They got some weird outfits over here, but some fired up fans. Back to you.
Thanks, Lee. You know, with that combination of those tights and your blazer, I'm going to need some shades, baby.
Lee didn't show his socks. He may have had a pair on just like that.
He started wearing socks again? That's good. 5-point ball game. Will Winnebago take advantage of the opportunity? Outside it's Merchant, way off the mark, but underneath it's Powers, and that'll go.
Oh, no call that time by the official. Powers took a little hop step. Thought he might have got called for a travel.
I think he was waiting for somebody to come up from behind and slap that thing away. Weathersby having trouble. Butler gets it. And now St. Anne will slow it down, leading by 3 with just over 3 left. Bender leaning, no. Powers was there, but back up and in is Felix Thurman, the force inside.
Thurman just got up above everybody else, wanted it more, and was able to get the ball back up and in.
Ballwinkle will force a foul out front. That will not count. He was fouled about 16 feet away from the basket.
There'll be a 1 in bonus opportunity for Ballwinkle. See if he has a better attempt at the line this time than he did in the last attempt.
We're talking about a 14 or 15-year-old, folks. You know, he's going to be great when his career winds down here and great in college, but he's still learning. There's the reset for you. Timeouts, 2 for each team. Fouls, everybody in the bonus, got it.
Better stroke that time by Ballwinkle, not as tight. Last time he put one up there, he just didn't have much follow through.
Joe Murphy staying cool over there. Is it a 3-point game? It is. And full court pressure. And let's see how St. Anne handles it. Weathersby back there. They got to watch the clock. They'll get it across with Butler. They've got numbers now. If Butler wants him, but he'll wait.
And the difference now being in the first half, when they had numbers, they attacked.
Lawrence Taylor is fouled out front. Taylor shoots 65% on the year. I think that's more preferable than letting him drive the lane. And he looks like kind of a Humvee in a Volkswagen lot.
I tell you what, Kevin Terville tried to reach around him to steal it. There's no way that's going to happen.
Lawrence Taylor, the senior, 5'10". Yep, that's 250 pounds, a young man. Up and in.
Good looking stroke there by LT at the line.
St. Anne's needed it. I tell you what, with Thurman in there for rebounding purposes, a missed free throw is certainly not a gimme rebound. But they got it. Merchant comes down. Looks for Tisdale, pulls up, glass, too much, rebound by Merchant, and he'll be fouled. Boy, that was just desire on Merchant's part.
Merchant's doing it at both ends of the floor. He missed a three just recently, but I tell you what, at the other end he out-battled Thurman, brought the ball down the floor, just timed it well, got the ball down to Tisdale, and even though Tisdale pulled up and missed that 10, 12-foot jump shot, Merchant stayed with it and went after the ball.
And you're looking at a young man who's already accepted a baseball scholarship to Creighton University.
We talked about the seniors that Winnebago has in their team. Between Powers and Merchant, you can tell that right now they just do not want their season to end.
Winnebago hasn't been within 2 for a long time, but they are in. Full court pressure. Davis breaking it, finding Weathersby. He turns, spins. What do we have? Foul.
Well, it's not a really smart foul that time by Terville inside. He had Weathersby right where he wanted him, had help defensively. He just fouled him in the process.
Well, the fans have certainly gotten their money's worth. And, of course, the local fans here in Peoria are celebrating Peoria Christian's opening quarterfinal win against Massac County. Here's a big throw. Right on.
Puts Weathersby in double figures as well with 10 points.
Butler still leading along with Thurman with 15 in and out. And, you know, Winnebago will take this 1 for 2. Tisdale again. Hangs. Hit. It's 1-point ball game. Butler the other way. It's loose. It's on the floor. Powers has the turnover. We've got a jump ball.
Be possession to Winnebago.
And it's Winnebago's basketball, according to Tisdale, as he looks at the arrow.
Boy, if we could get a replay of that. Powers just laid himself out. He was horizontal with the floor. What a great effort by that senior.
We said he was the emotional leader. He's the match. And he's certainly striking the fire right now. Tisdale with a big bucket on his last trip as we go down to the 2-minute mark. Tisdale forced it on the baseline, makes a terrible pass. He went behind his back, and that was almost a turnover.
First of all, I couldn't believe there wasn't a foul call in that situation. But then you got Weathersby. If he just lets that ball drop, it never went off of him. But he picks the ball up as it almost hits the floor.
Inbounds play. It's Merchant. It's a lead. It's a lead for Winnebago. 59-58. The other way, it's Davis, one-on-one to the glass, couldn't get
Merchant
it.
blocked it again.
Merchant there again and with the rebound. And Winnebago has the ball and the lead. Can you believe
they want
it?
a timeout.
And they get it. Joe Murphy calls time. St. Anne's needs to regroup. Don't go away. 1:40 remaining. We're back after this on the IHSA Television Network. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the expressed written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast scales is strictly prohibited. Winnebago had all of these golden opportunities disappear late in the third and early in the fourth, but they have kept at it. And we've got a timeout, St. Anne. Rick Schoon wants to talk it over. You gotta tip your hat to a couple of people. Ben Powers, first and foremost. He's been just all over the floor, showing why his coach calls him the emotional leader. And then David Merchant with some monster blocks.
Those two have willed this team back into this ball game. They've done it at both ends of the floor, in the middle of the floor. You know, it's just been an incredible comeback effort, and those two have really led the way. But you also got guys like Tisdale and Ballwinkle just kind of hung around and helped the effort out there on the floor. And those two, both with 4 fouls, could be a key down here in the last minute of the ball game.
And Rick Schoon decided, because they weren't pressing in the third quarter, being Winnebago, that he'd kind of go into more of a half-court set, not attack, with the opportunities that he had with that pressure on in the first half. And that's kind of played into the hands of Winnebago right now.
It really has, and they've really slowed down their offense and attacking the basket. But you also got to look at David Merchant, the job that he's done when they did get the ball close to the basket on a couple of occasions. He's been there to block those shots. That didn't happen in the first half. He's done the better job of that in the second half, and now they're a little hesitant going to the basket.
The Indians of Winnebago with their first ever invite to the Final 8, trying to make it a Final 4 invitation. And believe me, they'll RSVP if they get the chance. And St. Anne with 10 personal fouls makes this a 2-shot situation.
Good confident stroke there at the free throw line that time by Nelson.
Short rebound. That's Thurman.
Thurman made sure that nobody got their hands on that ball.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody within 2 feet vertically of it. Bender gets caught in the lane, hits.
Boy, tough shot that time by Bender.
Tyrese Bender.
He's given up about 6 inches to Nelson at the guard position, but just really did a good job of stopping on a dime and raising up and knocking down that shot.
We're all tied at 60s, Matt. Do you hang for one?
I think you still got to try to break him down. Try to take it in the lane, get a shot opportunity, get a layup, but don't settle for anything but a layup at this point.
Bauwinkle, who's been pretty quiet all day. He has been the focus of St. Anne's defense. Down to 30, Bauwinkle in the lane, kicks it out. And now they may very well go for one unless they get an open break underneath.
Only one timeout left for both teams. See if they try to burn one here. It doesn't look like they're going to. Look like they'll go ahead with a set offensive play.
Chad Nelson, who made that free throw last time down. Here we go for the game.
Be a fitting in for Bauwinkle to knock down the last shot after the game he's had.
He's fouled out front. He is fouled by Butler. And that's not necessarily all bad for St. Anne. First of all, they force him to make them. Second of all, they got a little time, not a lot.
They do have about 5.5 seconds to play in the ball game. And the way they get the ball down the floor, certainly get an opportunity to get the ball up to the basket.
The Cardinals try to freeze the sophomore as he heads to the bench with Winnebago. As far as Bauwinkle from the free throw line, 70%. And right now, Matt, I mean, basketball, sure it's physical, sure it's team, but it boils down to what's between your ears at a given time, at a moment in time. And Bauwinkle's got to forget about these last 31 minutes and 45 seconds and think about this moment.
Well, we talked about the fact that he's a sophomore. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I mean, this kid's been through a full season, and he's played with these guys for years, and he's a key player for their team.
Let's see what Joe Murphy's talking about in the Indians huddle.
Right now, we battle back this floor. Why not finish it off, all right, baby? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. You know what to do, Tim. Let's go. Look back. All right.
I thought it was interesting in that timeout for Winnebago. You have Ben Powers, one of the senior leaders, voicing his instruction to the team. Yeah, the coach in that situation really didn't have a lot to say. The senior leadership of this Winnebago team has been tremendous. They've relied on it all year long, and really that's the type of leadership you want out there on the floor. The coach doesn't make the plays, the players got to make the plays.
Remember, St. Anne's can get up the floor in a hurry if the free throws are missed. That one is true. Need them both. Got them both. 5 seconds left. Butler will inbound. Baseball pass intercepted. Merchant has it. Winnebago wins the game. Winnebago wins the game. Talk about climbing uphill all afternoon, Matt. That is what Winnebago did. uphill. Missed some golden opportunities. Trailed by 8 at the half. Trailed by 8 after the third quarter. Somehow, some way, they said, no way will we lose.
Just a great adjustment at halftime by Winnebago to pull the press off. They were getting killed by St. Anne down the floor in transition. And then St. Anne, you really have to fault them for really pulling back and not attacking the basket.
Mr. Murphy's very happy. He's standing by with our Lee Hall.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Coach, well, you guys never gave up, just like Super Sectional. You come back and win. How'd you do it?
I don't know, honestly. All of a sudden, things just turned for us. We started making some shots, played a little better D, and it just worked out.
Bowwinkle had a tough afternoon, but he stepped up there and hit 2 huge free throws for you at the end.
Yeah, early in the game, I think all our kids were a little bit frustrated for some reason, and at the end, and again, I don't know how, but somehow we just settled down and we got some good shots in and made them.
All right, congratulations to you. Let's talk to our country insurance player of the game. How do you come back and win a game like this when you're down 8?
Just come on with defense. You know, we stressed to the guys at halftime that we're playing a little timid on defense. We got to get more ball pressure and help out more and don't stay as long on the help side. And came out, we picked up the defensive pressure, and it led to transition baskets, and we did well on the boards, I thought, in the second half.
St. Anne looked like they had the control of the game for most of the game until the fourth quarter. How do you not get down, and how do you keep playing?
Right. Our guys have had the heart all year, you know, and we keep doing it. I don't know how, but we just keep doing it, and hopefully we got it in us 2 more times, and we, you know, that's what we're, the kind of ball club we are. We battle and battle and battle, and hopefully nip you at the end.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Winnebago's taking home a trophy. Back to you, Jim.
Yeah, Winnebago never having been here before. As Lee was wrapping it up, we were talking to Coach Joe Murphy. We'll tell you what he had to say and wrap this thing up. Winnebago has advanced against Peoria Christian. We're back after these messages. Down to the wire, down to the final 5.5 seconds. 2 free throws by Devin Bowwinkle gave Winnebago the lead. Then the inbounds pass forthcoming from St. Anne's, and we're going to show it to you in a bit, but not there, and the uphill climb was completed for the Indians.
What a tremendous comeback effort for Winnebago, all capped off by this pickoff by David Merchant. Merchant was tremendous in the second half. Does his little Curly Neal impersonation, dribbles out the clock, and Winnebago victorious by 2.
And that's our Apt Electronics play of the game. You can get aptelectronics.com right there on your computer. You see the celebration from the Indians. And one thing stood out when this game was over as far as hustle was concerned, Matt. Ben Powers walked by, pulled up his jersey for the trainer to see, had a gash on his abdomen after diving all over this floor here at the Carver Arena, and that pretty much said it all.
It really did. That was indicative of the way they played, and the seniors they have in the team would not let this team lose.
That hurt me just looking at that thing. Well, St. Anne got out of their game plan in that second half, and it cost them because you got a guy like Felix Thurman. You've got to go to him inside, and they didn't get in the ball enough in the second half. Let's check out tonight's action. Of course, it starts at 6:30 right here on the IHSA television network with Breeze Central versing, of course, Chicago Leo, and Kurt Pegler and Roger Lowe will bring you that game along with Lee Hall, and then Matt and I will be back for a good one. Pana and Quincy Notre Dame, they've all been good so far. I don't suspect that will change today.
2 great games. You got to love love Class A basketball. You have the town that rallies around your team. You get everybody coming, and it's just a great atmosphere. They fill the stands here in the arena. Just, you can't beat this environment.
And I grabbed Joe Murphy before he left, and the coach of Winnebago said, you know, our comebacks in the second half, they're usually in the third quarter. That's usually when we mount our comeback, not in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, but I'm sure he will take it, and Winnebago will be remembering this game for a long, long time to come, because they've never talked about a game here at State before.
And they'll be playing tomorrow.
And indeed. Of course, we want to thank everybody along the IHSA television network. I want to thank Matt Taphorn, of course, so we'll be back here this evening, and of course all of you for viewing here from the Peoria Civic Center. What a game we had. Walking away with it by the bucket was Winnebago over St. Anne, and we have two people in the semifinals tomorrow morning. Tonight, of course, we've got more basketball. Chicago Leo and Bree Central, Quincy Notre Dame, and Pana. I'm Jim Albrecht. For everybody in the truck, have a great afternoon, everybody, on the IHSA television network.